Remember the riots? Remember the looting? Remember the plague of violence, murder, arson, and assault across the country? Well, it's still happening. The mainstream media may have stopped covering it. They've moved on to their latest set of obsessions. But the families of children dead from shootings and violence, they remember. The families of police officers murdered and assaulted, officers attacked and blinded, they remember. The families of people beaten in the street who now live with lifelong injuries, they remember. The business owners who lost everything to arsonists, they remember, and so do we. This has come about because of the violent, destructive, abusive war against police launched by the left. And as leftists across America continue to launch attacks on police officers, it's worth asking why. Well, the answer is simple. The police are the protection between you, your family, and the leftist mob. That mob and the herd of yellow journalists who do their bidding are trying to destroy the basic deal that you, as a tax-paying citizen, can rely on the support, the protection, and the response of the police. The left wants to rule by fear and intimidation, impose their will by threat and harassment. And they know that there is no faster, no sure way to destroy confidence in the very idea of America than to destroy the basic bargain made between citizens and their government. The American Constitution is rooted in the basic idea that one of the reasons why people give their consent to the government is expressly because the government can provide some measure of protection for them. John Locke expressed the idea clearly when he said that we, the people, voluntarily agreed to be governed for the simple reason that in government, our lives, our liberty, and property could be better protected. Thomas Hobbes said that without government, human beings lived in a world in which their lives were nasty, brutish, and short. I've served as a Navy SEAL in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, and as a humanitarian volunteer in the former Yugoslavia, Cambodia, Zaire, Rwanda. And I can tell you, in places where there is no government or weak government, the depraved and vicious, the wicked and violent freely prey on good people. And now, we're seeing it here at home. The mobs, the riots, the people in prayer being assaulted, elderly couples enjoying a meal who are attacked. Look, before we had a country, we had police. In Boston in 1635, settlers established a night watch. It was manned by volunteers. About 70 years later, in 1703, members of the night watch were first paid 35 shillings a month, and the profession of policing on the continent began. Policing was woven into the tapestry of American government from our founding. In 1786, Sheriff Benjamin Branch of Chesterfield County, Virginia, became the first known law enforcement officer to give his life in the line of duty. In 1789, President George Washington created the first federal law enforcement officers when he appointed 13 U.S. Marshals. Today in America, police remain under assault. They're assaulted with bricks and bottles, fireworks and Molotov cocktails. They're assaulted by dishonest prosecutors who charge them with crimes when they are clearly just doing their jobs. They're assaulted by the left-wing media who distort facts beyond comprehension, who use words like mostly peaceful to describe arson. We do not have to be passive in the face of this violence. Let police know that you appreciate them. Support law enforcement organizations that care for the widows and children of fallen officers, and those that buy essential safety equipment for officers on duty. Put a thin blue line sticker on your car, a sign in your yard. These seem like small things, but remember this. The left works by fear and intimidation. When we take action, we build courage. The anarchists, leftists, rioters, looters, criminals, and assaulters are only a small portion of society. The good news is there are a lot more of us. We can win with courage, and Americans have always been courageous.